Hello everyone, Darkbringer here, and today we're going to do a discussion video because the season is wrapping up, and I'm just going to give my thoughts and opinions on how this season panned out and what it is that I liked and what I didn't like about this season. So we're going to start off with the theme of this season. So this theme of this season was very heavily Marvel themed, which is really great because I am a diehard comic book fan. So personally, this one really resonated with me. I thoroughly enjoyed this season, and there was a lot that they did in this season that I didn't expect. Honestly, there was a lot of ways that they tied in the whole theme in this season around like an actual storyline that could play into this overall story, which was really nice. I thought, it was going to be like another random season like the season before where we just had Aquaman and it just didn't seem right. There was nothing they did with that or with the Atlantis area. It was kind of just paced over, and then we forgot about it. This is a little different. We actually had Galactus being a main focal point, and we're actually about to get into the final event, which is coming up, but we'll get into that later on in the video. But yeah, so that was the theme of this, which I did enjoy. I think it's really clever that they went with a Marvel theme. And then we also have the theme with it being Marvel. So what about the characters in the map? So like the bosses or the people who ran the locations, like Stark Industries, and then we had like the Quinjets with the Stark bots. And then we also had Wolverine that was added later on, and then we had Doctor Doom and his Doom's Domain. So I thought that that was a really cool addition that they added these characters all throughout the location, that they had their own locations. Just found it to be just a tad bit disappointing that throughout the continuation of the season, we didn't get any more Marvel bosses on the map or any new locations, despite there being potential leaks. So I do recall that there was supposed to be like some machine gun or Uzis or something that were supposed to be part of Mystique's boss set, like it was something that she was supposed to drop, but we never saw Mystique, which I found to be just a little sad because it seemed like through the first half of the season it started out really strong, and then this later half the updates just disappeared. We weren't really getting any big map updates like I was hoping to see. Like after pretty much Tony Stark, as soon as they added the whole New York area, that was pretty much it, and I thought that was a tad bit sad because I think honestly they could have fleshed this out much further. We could have had Mystique, we could have had, maybe even Venom later on, even though he wasn't part of the main season. It just would have been nice to have some more bosses on the map, which is something that I noticed that they have been going in reverse with. So with this season, we had 3. Wolverine, which Wolverine doesn't really count because they just kind of stuck him somewhere randomly in the map. He didn't even have his own exclusive location like Doctor Doom or how Tony Stark did, which I think didn't make sense, but all the same, like, I do get it. I mean, what do you theme him around? But all the same, I think that they could have done something a little more unique with him, kind of like how we've had in the previous seasons where, we had people like Midas and like Brutus and everybody else that had their own little location. We had several bosses that had several locations, and it really brought like a breath of fresh air to the season. With this, there was no real development in that regard, which I was really disappointed in. I really wanted to see more Marvel bosses. Moving on though, let's talk about the Marvel characters themselves. So the item shop characters and the theme again. So we had several Marvel characters added to Fortnite, which was quite amazing. They did give us a lot of characters such as Venom, we got Ghost Rider, we had Silver Surfer, a lot of really cool characters, a lot of really interesting development in that regard, and I hope to see more Marvel characters, which I do believe the creative director, I don't recall his name, did mention that this is just them scratching the surface. There's supposed to be many more Marvel characters coming to the item shop. The only gripe I had with any of the Marvel editions was simply the Black Widow. I didn't really think it was necessary to add Black Widow just in a white outfit. when we already had Black Widow. I think that should have been a selectable style, but all the same, they did change her up quite significantly. Like if you look at the original Black Widow skin with the new one, it is actually quite different. They don't have the same faces, they also don't have the same colors. It's just overall a complete rework of the original skin, which is nice, but again, nonetheless, I don't think that was necessary. Just re-release the old Black Widow skin with the white selectable style, but that is not what they did in that case, so I wasn't really happy about that bundle. But nonetheless, most of them were really great. I did like most of the bundles. They were really interesting. I had no complaints in that regard. They did really well for sure. But moving on, we also are going to be talking about the final event that is coming up. So the final event is supposed to be this Galactus event. He's been like the main antagonist, I guess you could say, of this whole season. He's been gradually nearing closer and closer to the map, threatening this island, and we'll have to see what happens in that regard. But speaking of that, through the content updates, we have been seeing Galactus. He has visually been getting closer and closer. At the beginning of the season, he looked as like he's just like some small little star in the sky. And then as the season progressed, he started getting more and more obvious. He started actually being visualized, where you could actually see him flying in. And then finally he disappeared right here at the end of the season. Nobody knew where he went. And then some leakers found him underneath the ocean, hiding himself underneath the ocean. And then now he's actually risen from the ocean, and he's peeking his head up, looking at everyone over the Fortnite map, and planning his next attack. What's going to happen? What are we going to be doing? Speaking of which, we've had Tony Stark. He's been upgrading the battle bus, and I believe Fortnite tweeted a picture of the inside of the battle bus. We had like all these these green devices, these reactors, which I'm sure is going to play some significant role in the Galactus event. Also, this event is supposed to be 15 minutes long, which, if I'm not mistaken, is the longest we've had any event. All of our events have actually been quite short for the most part, not being over more than like 5 minutes, and then our longest one being the device, which I believe was either 8 or 10 minutes, which was a pretty cool event. It was really crazy how they did that one. That one was really neat with Midas, but this one is supposed to be 15, so this is going to be a big brawl, I'm assuming, with everyone. I think it's also supposed to be very interactive. I think as everyone is on the map, we're going to be participating in some form or fashion to help take down Galactus with Iron Man and the rest of the Fortnite Marvel characters we've had, such as Thor and them. I think we're all going to gather together and take him out. And also, I do believe that somebody had mentioned that there was going to be some sort of black hole event that might occur later on, which makes a lot of sense, because when you have like a big fight like this with a character like Galactus, for example, this is a big cosmic being. He's a very powerful person. There could be all kinds of crazy stuff that happens, and we've also been seeing the rifts appear everywhere, and how Tony Stark managed to bring a chunk of New York to the map. So I think him in turn doing that has opened up more rifts, which is what happened in the previous season. We got more and more rifts, and then we had this big event that happened, and then this big giant explosion that caused a black hole, essentially sucking everyone in and then just resetting the whole Fortnite world. So I don't think that they're going to be resetting Fortnite. This is obviously going to be just season 5. This isn't chapter 3 yet. That's already been confirmed like through leaks. But what is going to happen in this black hole event? I think it's going to be different in this regard. I think with this new black hole that's coming, we're probably just going to be sucked up and just taken somewhere else, not necessarily reset or reboot Fortnite. Maybe this black hole is going to just be like essentially just a giant rift that is just going to take everything that we know and just ship it off somewhere else, possibly in space, because that's where everything's been themed around these past couple seasons. We've had like the space characters from the previous season, and then this season we have Galactus. He's coming. He's also a very big space cosmic being. And then Thor is very, he's very in tune with that stuff as well. So not going to be surprised if this next season is going to take some sort of place in space, which I'm not, too surprised either way, because also through the leaks we have confirmed that we're going to have a Mandalorian skin, and it seems like the season pass is going to have some sort of Star Wars type theme, which of course, if you know Star Wars, as the name implies, is up in the stars, obviously, so that's going to be in space, which would be really interesting. I would like to see what they do in that regard. Like, what if we get a new map, they add some new dynamics with how the game plays out. Really curious to see. Really excited. Who knows? We're just gonna have to wait and see. But yeah, those are my thoughts on this season so far. Overall, this was a great season. I do think it had more potential than what we were given, like I had said earlier, with the bosses and the maps. But it is understandable because this has been quite a crazy year. So maybe the things that they did have initially planned couldn't come to fruition for those reasons. So I absolutely understand that. There's nothing wrong with that. You do what you can, and I'm actually happy nonetheless that they were able to provide a really cool season nonetheless, and probably one of the best end events that we're probably ever going to have. We're just going to have to wait and see, but I am super excited to see what the outcome is on that one. But yeah, overall, I wouldn't say this is my favorite season, but it is absolutely up there. I am thoroughly enjoying all of Chapter 2. Chapter 2 has been really great. It's been quite a thrill ride. Really excited to see what they do for Season 5. We're just going to have to wait and see, but we do know that Mandalorian is coming, and I'm really excited to be able to play as Mandalorian. It's going to be really fun. Going to have the Baby Yoda as well. Really great. But yeah, that wraps up this video. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, comment. I try to read all your comments. I try to reply to every comment. And if there's anything you want to ask me or something that you want to chime in on or discuss with me, I'm more than happy to read what you got to say, and I'll do my best to reply back to you. We can get a little discussion going on in the comment section. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I am out.